There are a number of other possible considerations when considering unit testing coverage. A common criteria for good unit tests is to exercise boundaries, known as boundary testing. Boundary testing probes the borders of behavioral changes. As examples, if you have a minimum acceptable value, you would check one notch below the minimum, exactly at the minimum, and one notch above the minimum to make sure there's no unexpected results. That includes minimum and maximum values, things like counter rollovers, wraparounds, overflows, and those sorts of things. A special category of boundary tests that is important in practice are time crossings, hours crossing midnight, days crossing the end of the month, leap years, leap days, years rolling over from 1999 to 2000, and so on. A different type of unit testing coverage that also matters for robust systems is handling exceptional values. Every time there's a floating point computation, ask yourself what happens if a not a number or an infinity is pulled into the equation. For pointers, ask what happens if there's a null pointer that's dereferenced. For string operations, ask what happens if there's a null string or a string with no terminating character. Other exceptional values include undefined inputs or invalid inputs, or unusual events such as leap year or daylight savings time changes. In other words, exceptional value testing is both control flow but also, often more importantly, special data values that are not the normal expected values, but which can still happen and cause your software to misbehave. When you think you're done unit testing, you should be able to justify your level of coverage. Is your software good enough if you only get statement coverage, or do you need MC/DC coverage? And did you cover all the special cases? Did you cover all the potential data issues? Did you look for divide by zero, and so on? It's important to define a strategy not only for structural and behavior coverage, but also for boundary and exception coverage to get good, thorough unit testing.